everybody, my name is Jimmy. I'm one of the organizers for Hello Fest. I have with me right now, I have Masha, who organizes the Kizomba, and they got Mao over here who organizes the Zouk. But for the most part, we are organizing Hello Bachata Fest. Guys, thanks for coming out. We're here at the Hyatt Regency Airport, where the festival will be held at on July 24th to 28th. Well, we just had a meeting, and one of the things that we observed, or at least Mao, one of the things that I've been seeing personally that's been going on is things have been really been tough in the economy here. I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty that's been going on, especially when it comes to finances. At least for me and Masha, what's been really tough has been the cost of groceries has been going up. The cost of just everyday goods has been increasing. Yeah, life in general. I feel like last year, the amount of money I spent last year versus this year is very different. I feel like I have a lot less money this year to spend on groceries, or groceries just more expensive. I don't know. What do you think? What's going on?
It's economy is definitely tough on everyone. So I think if you look at socials or Congress, these are really good events that hopefully give us a little bit of space. Allow us to really connect. The economy is going to affect. Economy happens generation after generation. Sometimes you have difficult times, sometimes very challenging time, and sometimes a good time. So being able to go to this festival, being able to go to the social, Hello Social, and Mao Mambo, or any of great social in the Bay Area as well as anywhere around the country here, give us time away from thinking about economy and think about connecting us as individuals, people, as dancers.
Do you feel that, because Matt, I think for you, you travel a lot more than any of us on the team. What's your observation of how dancers are in other cities or states, and how do they feel about the ability to even buy things or even go to festivals?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think a lot of us, have been blessed a little bit being to go to different events and different cities, different states. I think economy is challenging for everybody, and I think I stressed upon that because we have been blessed being able to attend the social, being able to attend a lot of the festivals and conferences. I think a lot of us dancers were very creative, right? Before we used to have our own room, or maybe we used to share two people in a room, but now we share four people in a room. But I still think that the tickets, for the most part, are relatively affordable, right? So many great events across the country, right? But if you buy in advance, it's still affordable. And if you are being a little more creative, I remember when I was a student, I had 15 people in a room, so I made it work, with the performance pass, and so it's all about, again, I think this kind of event is all about connecting. It's all about us being able to to relate to other people. It doesn't matter what dancing you do, right? A lot of us, we love bachata, we love salsa, we love kizomba, we love zouk, and other dance forms too. But really, it's all about, this type of event is all about coming together, empower each other, and really, give us an opportunity to learn from each other. Amazing artists, amazing dancers, amazing instructors, amazing DJs, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Something that I think that's worth talking about is the direction of our festival. I think that's a big component that I don't think that we haven't really talked about. When we first originally started this back in 2024, the original plan was a weekender. It was originally meant to be just a bachata weekender. All of a sudden, salsa was added, and then Masha wanted to have kizomba, and then zouk was added, and it's just kind of like it just went crazy. And I think what the most interesting thing that I seem to notice is just the amount of support that the community expressed to us, for Hello. And with Hello, by the time we started the festival, Hello Bachata Monthly in San Francisco was already a banging event.
That's a crazy social, by the way. That's amazing.
Yeah, it is crazy. I can't really talk about the numbers that happened, but if you were to show up to Hello Monthly, you would see insane how many people there
Our
is.
next one is August 10th. Come and see for yourself.
Yeah. So, so I think in regards to where Hello, I don't think we actually knew where Hello Fest was going to go. And I think this is a good time to even mention that because we didn't know, it was just supposed to be bachata, but we added salsa, bachata, and kizomba. The challenge that we're encountering is people are like, oh, well, bachata, it's just Hello Bachata Fest. There's only bachata, but in reality is we have, a really strong salsa lineup, a really great zouk lineup. And I feel what happened was if we kept the name Hello Bachata Fest, it wouldn't feel inclusive anymore. It would make it sound like salsa or kizomba or zouk, a second thought. We've had to make the decision, and it's going to take a lot of work because it's a transition period. It's going to take a lot of work to convert the whole festival into Hello Dance Fest. And I think it's really important that we do that.
I think you brought a good point. I think what's a great blessing about us being in the Bay Area, specifically San Francisco, is that I mean the bachata scene, as you alluded to. I mean,
Yeah.
Hello Bachata Social. That's just one amazing social within our ecosystem.
Right.
I was just blessed. I mean, this past weekend I was at Bachata Takeovers, another amazing event, and the day before that was the Beat Salsa, which is amazing also. So because of that, like you mentioned earlier, I mean, the bachata is incredible in the Bay Area. The salsa is incredible in the Bay Area. The zouk is amazing in the Bay Area. I mean, you look at a zouk lineup, for example, for a festival. I mean, that's like even bigger than most of the zouk specific event. I mean, that's
Right.
how much passion for us, for the dance, as well for the community itself. I mean, if you look around in the Bay Area, we have what, 3 or 4 full-time zouk instructors. That's not many scenes in the country
Yeah.
that can afford that type of ecosystem.
And you know what? I was thinking about it is I don't think a lot of people realize that San Francisco has the strongest scene for all, at least for us, all four genres. Thing is, a lot of cities out there just don't have the turnout. And I think a lot of us we forget, right? We've been living in San Francisco for so long, we forget that, other places,
different.
it's different. I think someone made a good comment, and this is a great shout out for Reno Latin Dance Fest. But they were saying how the DJs at Reno Latin Fest were really awesome. The people, I guess the person that was talking about, they didn't realize that we're really good. But I mean, in comparison, compared to like, I'm just going to throw some name out. Let's just say Alaska. Let's just say Alaska or something like that, right? Yeah, XYZ, just like whatever, right? The DJ over there wouldn't have the same amount of experience as the DJ here in San Francisco. Not because they're not good. It's just about like the amount of experience. It's like dancing, right? If you're in a big city learning from a big pool of dancers, you get better. And it's the same thing with DJing. It's like unless you're DJing to a big crowd,
Just
It's-
opportunities out there.
yeah,
Not as many events. So if you have one event per month, you can only practice one event per month. But if you here, we have so many bachata events that a DJ could potentially DJ every weekend, let's say, and get better and better and better.
Yeah. So I think that's what's really at least great about the Bay Area is we have a lot of talented people, and not only that though, but they are talented because they've had the opportunity to DJ to a very large group of people, and I think a lot of people forget that. And maybe people take it for granted. Maybe they forget. I don't know, but I do feel that for me, I don't really travel. I'm sorry, I don't travel, but I know Mao, you travel, so you can see the difference. But I'm pretty biased when I say that. Yeah, we live in a really great area because there's just so many people to learn from here and dance with and socialize.
Deep, it's deep. I mean, you look at amazing salsa DJs. You look at bachata DJ. I mean, you put it up anywhere around the world. You look at a zouk DJ. You look at a kizomba.
You know what I was thinking too? It's like it must be a real blessing to be here and be able to complain about, oh, this DJ plays too much central. Oh, this DJ plays too many remixes. It's like, not to toot my own horn, but I actually had people complain about me when I was DJing last Sunday. I was like, oh man, Jimmy's playing too many remixes. I'm like, you matter, it's like, do you realize that no other place can actually have a remix DJ because they just don't have the experience? But I think it's kind of funny that, a lot of, I'm not saying it's anyone's fault. It's just a reality of like, we live in a blessed.
I think, listen, I think when it comes to like DJing, people will always have an opinion, right? But they'll always want like if I'm talking about specifically like kizomba where Jimmy's talking about bachata, it's the same thing. It's like either it's too much traditional music or too much urban music or whatever, right? So in my experience, it's like you just have to do the best that you can, and you take a look at the people you have in front of you, and you just kind of analyze those people and you DJ for them, right? And usually like 90% of the time, like 99%, we're good, right? Sometimes the 1% will complain or whatever, but most of the feedback that I think both of us have gotten back is that at least I know for myself, I made like little business cards where I have like my live mixes so that people can, because they like to follow and listen, and just sometimes they want to listen to the music while they're driving to work or whatever. And if they're asking for the mixes after the event, that's a good sign, right? So that means that you did a good job. But I think I think it's funny that people complain because like you can never be 100%. There's always going to be somebody, right, that doesn't like something, right? So I feel like you just take the criticism, but I think you need to continue, because if you adjust to whatever they say, that might not be the best for everyone else, for the 99%, right, that do support you. Yeah.
And I think that's actually a good segue, because you know what? I think something that was brought up before is there's just too many festivals in the San Francisco Bay Area. I mean, right. I mean, for me, it's like, if you think about it, it's like, yes, other cities, it's a challenge to have more than one festival, even more than one social. But San Francisco, it's a different beast. If you're not living here in San Francisco, it's a different beast. It's like you can have an event in San Francisco every night and still not see the same person.
Like we were saying, that's just social aspects, right? And then the festival itself, I mean, what we have, I mean, Hello Bachata Fest, which is Hello Dance Fest, coming up next week. But we also have other events nearby. The California Fest, another Nova Fest, another one. SBK is another one. Reno, which is not too far from there, right? I mean, this is an incredible. We can't forget John's and Liz.
SF Salsa Festival in the March.
The Queer Festival is another great.
Yeah.
These are just, I mean, we might be missing one or two here. This is an amazing, thriving scene. So support all the festivals.
Well, yeah, it's not only just support, but just I think being more aware that there's just so many different festivals, and that we all are still functioning is pretty amazing. There's people who say, oh, compared to SBK and Hello, people like Hello. Why? Oh, because the bachata is a lot better. Oh, well, then you ask another person, well, which one? Oh, like SBK because the salsa is just much better. I think the reality is the fact that you can have an opinion on which one you like is pretty awesome. Yeah, it's a good problem to have. And I think it's nice to think about it and at least be humble about it and realize that, we live in a good place.
I mean, how sad would it be if like we stopped doing this and there was no festival? Like, just think about it. Like, it would be, right? It would be sad, because festivals still, like, socials can never replace the feeling of a festival. No. You could never, ever have the same I mean, even at our event, Hello, right, monthly, I mean, it's an amazing feeling. We got the amazing vibe. Does it match a festival? No, it's at another level. It's not supposed to be competing, right? So like, it's awesome that we're doing this, I think, and put in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I think it's for our love of dance, right? Because I think like it's our way of giving back, because I think dance has done amazing things for all of us, and I think that it's just a way of giving back to everything that the dance has kind of given us.
Yes, it's pretty amazing. If you look at Hello lineup, for example, that's a crazy lineup. In bachata, in salsa, in zouk, in kizomba. These are some of the most influential artists in the world right here. We're able to bring, and these things are only possible because they've been supported by the community, basically, right?
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing to mention, and it's another good shout out too, is the community, the dance community, at least for bachata, for us when we first started, is huge. But I think also it's only huge because of what we do. I mean, the humble beginnings of Hello Bachata Fest is bachata by the basin, and anyone who knows
next Sunday.
Anyone who knows bachata by the basin knows that
July 20th.
that's where we got our humble beginnings. And I think one of the things that we joke around with the team is because we did that, we just had a loyal fan base. It just stuck with us. Then it came Hello Bachata Monthly, a loyal fan base, and it's because it all started with just us simply giving back to the community first, and now we're doing a festival. All the festival is just a larger scale of having people new and old meet each other, because that's what the model is for Hello Fest or Hello Bachata, is like where new and old friends meet. Uh, at least for the festival, once a year. Yeah, That's basically
catch up.
yeah, something
1
like
year
that.
worth of-
But besides that, but why would anyone go to a festival? I know for a lot of us dancers, it's almost like second nature to go to a festival. But there's a lot of people who don't know what a festival is about.
It's very
So-
hard to explain
Well,
for
okay.
those that have not been.
Well, yeah, I think so. The question we need to ask is why go to a festival, and I think that's where you, Masha and Mao, can talk about.
Wait,
Okay.
Masha, you go first. I
Okay.
can touch on it.
Okay, so why go to a festival? Well, first of all, I think you meet amazing people. I think the connections that you have at a festival, especially if it's your first time. So let me like split it up. So for those that are like complete newbies and that have never been, I just remember going back to my first festival and I was completely overwhelmed. I wasn't warned of what to expect. I got absolutely no sleep. But the people that I met in class, I just remember those were like some of my first like Kizomba workshops. And I was like a brand new follow. It was like 2013 or so. And it was amazing because I'm still friends with those people online, right? So we still kept those connections. And I think that when you go to the classes and you meet people in class, then you see them at the social, right? And that's a way you're already making the friends, and then you go dance with the people that you meet in class in the social, because I think it can be very overwhelming in the beginning, especially if you're new. So if you're new, I can give some advice. So maybe you can touch on like the people, yeah, that have been going for a while. But newbies, I think definitely bring lots of snacks. I bring electrolytes, so you can buy some electrolytes. I suggest lots of snacks, lots of water. Take breaks when you need to. Decide if you want to focus on the social, if you want to focus on going to class. I think one or the other, because you definitely can't do all. Right, by Sunday you're just going to be completely pooped, because for example our classes are from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. and then our socials from 11 p.m. until 7 a.m. So you can do with that as you will. That's a lot of hours of dancing, right? So I think you can easily overwhelm yourself. I think also if you bring a friend, it's kind of easier, right? Less overwhelming. And for those that have been going, in dancers for a while, I think it's awesome because you get to, like what Jimmy was saying, catch up with people that you haven't seen. A lot of the times we only see these people like in the Kizomba scene, like at the festivals, because they'll fly out right to the festivals. We don't see them at the, Hello Monthly and so on. So I think it's nice to catch up with people.
Yeah, that's a great point, Masha. I think, in addition, events such as, well, a little bit biased, obviously, but events such as Hello Dance Fest is very, very important because you have a source of inspiration, right? I mean, you all attend a lot of these great classes and social, but it's great. Let's say, for example, you're avid about bachata or salsa, for that matter, right? And sometimes you have an opportunity where say, let's say you might have heard what kizomba is, what zouk is. Like this type of event is a great event for you to continue doing what you're doing, take all the salsa, bachata class, or whatever. But let's say you have an inclination to learn what kids and maybe your community may not necessarily have access to. So these kind of event, I mean, this is like, if you look at Hello, there's a full track of it. That means if you want to concentrate on it for the whole day of doing kizomba or zouk for that matter, right?
Yeah.
There's not many festival out there in the country that allow you to do something like that. I mean, and you're doing with some of the most influential people in that particular genre, right?
Exactly.
So when you go back to your own scene, you can continue to learn more about that, right? So I think Hello Fest is have a very, very important purpose in the community, right?
Well, how many festivals in your experience and across the country has 4 genres? Salsa, bachata, kizomba, zouk. How many are there?
That's not many. I mean, you can use one hand to really. I mean,
SBK.
Yeah, SBK is one of them. Yeah. DBCX is another one I'm aware of.
And then Lee Gringito is the one that runs that.
And maybe another one that used hosted by a good friend Angel. Actually, there's another one in New York. Yeah, Angel Vargas. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know Angel.
That's,
Oh, Angel. Yeah. It's Shout out to Angel.
And then that's pretty much. I mean, there may be some small events, maybe, but I think those are some of the major events that I'm aware of. that's having those. But again, I think those are in East Coast, right? Like say
Yeah.
DBZ, which is a great event by the way, in East Coast in Washington. Then you got New York, and then you have so it's great. I mean, to me, I'm kind of biased. All festivals are good festivals, great festivals if you're able to attend. But being able to be exposed to all those dance genres is pretty incredible. So if you're in the Bay Area here, come check it out. Learn more about Zouk, learn more about Kizomba.
Yeah, going off of what Mao was saying, I think what's awesome is that, especially for the newbies, I don't know how the scheduling works. So the scheduling is on right now. It's on hellobachata.com. You could go on the website. You could click on your specific genre, check out the schedule. Everything is done. If you want to look at the event schedule, you can scroll down, hit event program, and the DJ schedule will pop up. So if you have a particular favorite DJ you want to check out, you could check out when they're playing. So all the schedule is already there for you guys. But I think what Mao was saying and what's awesome is that, sometimes it could be scary to go to class and try something new. But here, the way we have structured the festival is that each of the classes is only 1 hour. So you can go from salsa to bachata to zouk to kizomba and back to salsa, bachata, whatever you want to do, right? So every hour you can switch or you can stay in your specific genre. And I think it's a little bit less scary, right? Because, sometimes to take a kizomba class in places where there's no festival, it's a weekender. And then sometimes you have to maybe pay a lot of money and maybe you're just stuck there for 8 hours and it's just a lot and it's overwhelming, right? So here you just go in for an hour, feel it out, right? And the same thing I would say for the social. If you've taken a few kizomba classes, if you've taken class with me or any of the instructors in the Bay, just come check out the kizomba room at the festival, because I think it's a good opportunity to kind of hone in on your skills and practice what you learned. Because I think, in my opinion, every teacher, has different kind of things that they believe. And I think that no matter how much you learn, so you can be going to class all day, every day, I believe that there's a minimum amount of hours that you have to put in on the dance floor. If you do not do that, your skills will not improve. No matter how you can go to all the festivals, pay all the money, take all the privates, but then when you're dancing, it will not be better. You need to go and dance, and also you need to dance with different people, because dancing with the same person, like if you're a significant other, it's not the same. You need to dance with different people, because then you have to adjust, right, to their level. They might be better than you. There might be, brand new beginner. So the way you dance with a beginner might be very different than more advanced dancer, right? So, yeah.
Yeah, I think in addition, another aspect is the vibe. I think something like Hello, for example, because of, again, it builds on the great bachata basin and Hello social, is that you have the people here that's very caring, very very supportive. So it doesn't matter. Nobody in the festival here from where feel like a stranger here, right? Everybody's kind of you're
Like
a
a
dancer.
family.
You're like a family. Or it doesn't matter if you dance bachata, you dance salsa, you dance kizomba, you dance zouk. You're part of this community.
Yeah.
In that sense, we're not just part of the San Francisco dancing community. We're part of the California dancing community, part of the United States dance community, and they have some international people coming. So you're part of the world's dance
The
community.
global.
And you're global. So in essence, the vibe is very important. And we always try to, because a lot of us, we're not just dancer, but we're also organizer. And because of that, we're kind of aware in terms of why we're doing events, right? It's not just about coming here collecting money, because the reality is, with the amount of work that we put in, this is all a lot of passion. You can't lose money.
It's a volunteer position, y'all.
Yeah.
We're volunteering.
But it really, it's all about creating a good vibe, so people feel very supportive, people feel inclusive, and just bring the whole weekend. Just have a good experience connecting to people, because ultimately it's more than a dance. It's all about connecting to people.
Totally,
Yeah, and I do agree with that. I think it's easy. I think one of the great things about festivals is I feel that there's a little bit thing for everybody. There's people who want to level up their dancing through workshops. There's people who just want to socialize and dance. But there's even people who just want to do room parties and just kind of hang out and drink with their friends, right? There's a little bit of everything. Yeah, we don't judge.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, but I think that ultimately, I this is something I've always wanted to talk about, is ultimately, well, why are we doing this? Why, when I say do, why are we dancing? I think the reality is, people, whether they know it or not, it's all about the connection. We're all trying to connect with one another, because it's just human nature to want to connect with people. I mean, we want to connect in relationships, right? Like romantic relationships, but not just that, but friendships. It's always we go to these festivals with the idea that there is a possibility that we're going to make a new connection or rekindle an old connection with some friends. That's what festivals are about. And I think that once you tap in and realize that, oh, it's all about meeting friends, new friends, making old friends, it's just reconnecting, that it brings a new sense of purpose on why you go to a festival. Yes, you can go and learn, take workshops, but why are you taking the workshop? It's because you're trying to connect with the instructor. You're trying to connect with the way they dance because something in them you want to replicate or something. You go social dancing. You're trying to connect with someone else on the dance floor. Just have a great experience. And even to the room parties, right? You're connecting with other people just to like share stories or whatever like that. And I think that that's what a festival is really about. It's not. Yes, you can look at it at that level of social dancing, workshops, etc., etc. But the reality is the whole big bubble festivals, at least in that scale, is about making new and old connections.
I definitely agree with that, and I think in addition, and this is why Hello Festival or Hello Dance Fest become very important, because all the dances, it has its own thing, right? It could be a salsa connection,
Yep.
it could be a bachata connection, a kizomba connection. If you never danced that before, it's incredible. It's unique. It's very unique to that particular dance. Or a zouk connection, for example. Now, this type of festival where you can experience or learn to experience all of them, will give you an advantage because you're able to get into different vibe or different connection. And this is why it's if you can, do attend this kind of festival, because it gives you a place to get this kind of education. I mean, we all love bachata. We all love salsa. But what if you're curious about, what is this about kizomba connection? What is that all about? Imagine being able to spend 8 hours a day or 6-7
And
hours
just
a day.
hugging for 8 hours.
Just hugging.
It's us.
It's,
Lots of
believe me, it's-
oxytocin.
right? There's a lot more stuff going on, just like Zoom, for example.
Yeah.
Why is it moved that way? I mean, being to understand that will definitely improve your dancing, no matter what it is you choose to dance, right?
Sure.
It's just ultimately a figure. It's a figure, right? A crossbody lead. It's similar, but then the experience of doing it is different, depending on the dance, depending on the rhythm, right? So yeah, so if you're available here in the Bay Area, come and join us. Not just us, but any festival.
The reality is HelloFest wouldn't be where we're at right now if it wasn't for people who supported us, and not just support us as a festival, but support us as organizers. I feel that for me personally, I feel like a lot of the success from Hello Fest comes from me interacting, having connections with people all over San Francisco, because I've lived up north by Santa Rosa. I have friends and connections there. I have friends in Sacramento because I spend a lot of time hanging out with friends over there. I'm from San Jose, and then I lived in the peninsula. I feel that because, at least for me, I've done a lot of good to the community, that after how many years it's been, how long I've been doing this? Since 1999.
60 years.
Oh my God. 1999 is how long I've been in this dance scene. That's back when it was salsa. So, and also, that's the other thing too, salsa. So before bachata, I was connected to the salsa scene. So I feel like it all just came to a head when we did the festival, because everyone's like, oh yeah, I know Jimmy. I want to come help him out, and I've never, at least for me, I've never taken it for granted, because if people are looking up to me, then I have a responsibility to honor and respect not only them as a dancer to provide the best festival possible, but also I think it's important to respect the money, right? Because the reality is we have a finite amount of money, all of us. Even me, even Mao, all of us, the amount of money we put into the festival, it's a lot. But also, it wouldn't be possible if we didn't have supporters like the dancers. And I think it's important as organizers, for every festival, to respect not only that the dancer is smart, because in reality, I also feel like a lot of dancers are really smart.
Especially here. We have a lot of our dancer folk work for, the likes of Google, Facebook, right? It's tech protect
not even
people.
that, though.
Not just that, of course.
Yeah, it's not even like that. I think it's more like emotional intelligence too. I feel like the majority. I feel like as long as you respect that the person, the dancer, is smart, it's all good to go. Because the reality is, I think a lot of dancers, they know when there's a good festival. Or, they know if this is a good festival or not. They know if they're putting in $200, $300, whatever, right? That they know. Okay,
They
is
know
this?
when they're being scammed or
Exactly.
vice versa.
And I think that's important to recognize that, as long as organizers respect the dancer will respect the festival and the organizer.
And I wanted to add, like, a side note, unrelated. Obviously, a big shout out to the community and to the dancers, and also a very big shout out to the volunteers. I think without which the Hello event, I know for sure wouldn't be able to happen. Right? We have an amazing volunteer group that go, I think, above and beyond, and also at the festival to make it possible, because it's just three of us here. If it was three of us people, we would not be able to run this festival by ourselves, right?
And Mal, I think that's something to come up too, like volunteers. I feel that in my experience, in being in the scene for so long, and also managed a number of different festivals before actually managing Hello Fest, is that a lot of it goes back to not respecting the other person. And when I say other person, we're talking about volunteers, because I feel like the volunteers are essentially the backbone to a lot of festivals, and I don't think they get enough credit for it. They don't. Yes, there is a small percentage of people who just rush and want to get a free pass. That's what they see it.
That's natural.
But there's also a majority of people who are volunteering because for the love of just interacting with people. And I think that's another thing that we have to respect. We have to respect that the volunteer is there out of the goodness of their heart, essentially. So it is the festival's duty to ensure that they're taken care of, and ensure that everything's fair, and also just,
Yeah, scheduling and everything. Because I've heard horror stories.
oh yeah, I've not only heard horses, but you know what? I've been a volunteer too. Can you believe I was a volunteer at a festival. I'm not going to mention which one, but I'm sure you'll figure it out. I was volunteering a festival where I was putting in, I think, 12 hours at the front desk. And guess what? Now it was alone because the whole volunteer staff bailed. So out of the goodness of my heart, I volunteered for this particular festival with
Jimmy should have bailed.
with a pulled muscle. I pulled my back out, and I was just sitting there in pain and just kind of helping out as a good friend. And guess what? After that happened, do you think I came back? I was like, hell no. I didn't get a thank you for it. I didn't get recognition for it. I got bull for it. And after that, so you know what? I told myself if I ever did anything like this, I would always make sure that the volunteers were taken care of, everyone was organized, everything like that. And if you were to volunteer for Hello Fest, and if you are watching this and you're a volunteer right now, you know how much work we put in to make
Jimmy
sure.
is on top of the schedule.
You gotta realize that it's a beast. I mean, this Hello Fest is a beast already in terms of the number of people to come in, but imagine the logistics that is put behind to make sure that the festival runs without a hitch. And I have to say, I'm proud of the volunteer staff, the volunteer team, is because if the more you take care of them, guess what? They take care of you.
I think volunteers definitely were very important. Another subject I want to pivot also is, especially at this venue, right? I mean, first of all, this is an amazing venue, right? It's
beautiful.
How would you describe this venue?
Beautiful.
I would say like the Hyatt Regency SF Airport, which is where we're doing the festival. Yeah. Comparatively to other hotels, it's hard to compare. Number one, San Francisco hotels, they're small because San Francisco is just essentially a very tight place, right?
They don't have space.
They don't have the space. You can look at
South Bay.
Mal, you know more about this. What other hotel can hold as many people? This is capacity is 5,000. This is a 5,000 person hotel.
Here's hoping in a few years, right?
Yeah,
5,
yeah. So if it's 5,000, imagine the amount of room that we're able to grow. And if you look at, and also the layout, that's the best part. I don't think people realize that
it's awesome. Yeah.
a hotel layout is very important to a festival. You don't want to be going to like one end of the hotel, for one room, and you gotta
30-minute walk
and you gotta
to
walk to
the
the other end like you're at the Chicago O'Hare Airport to go to another room for dancing. It's not fun, but at the same time, yeah, this hotel, I don't know. You come
You
on,
also
Mal,
don't
you
want
got
to be
more.
sleeping in a room next to the salsa or kizomba room, like DJing, right? And you're trying to sleep, so that doesn't work either. All
Yeah,
right, so it's separate. It's all separate.
Yeah, each event has its own vibe. A lot of time is depend on the city, depend on the situation, right? There's
Yeah.
nothing that a particular organizer can do. But again, Bay Area, we just happen to be blessed. This hotel is really meant to make for this type of event. I mean, we have, four genre at the same time at nighttime, right? Then for our workshop, then we have like what 8 or 9 workshops simultaneously happening.
Yeah, yeah. It's we for this year. Yes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, basically 7 tracks.
7 tracks.
Seven
Imagine
tracks.
7 tracks every single hour. That means 7 classes,
At the
some
same
option every single hour. And then at nighttime you got 4 party
Mhm.
happening at the same time,
Mhm.
each different room.
Yeah.
So like a feature room. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that yes. I think 7 tracks is very unique to at least our festival. But I will be honest with you that Mao, this year it's tough. The economy is different. There's a lot of uncertainty. So a lot of the people that we had intentionally wanted to have at our festival, we couldn't house or they couldn't come out. We have an artist with a visa issue. She couldn't make it. All of a sudden, she just told us it's not her fault, but
It happens.
yeah, it happens, and we our lineup, which is actually interesting enough, we've have 111 workshops total this year,
That's awesome.
which is only down by 114 from last year.
So only 4.
Yeah, but it doesn't look like it though. I think because we've always had a big plans with 8 tracks, but it's different. I would say that
You have
it's
to adjust.
different.
You have to be able to
Yeah.
adjust.
But the fact that you have, first of all, as listener here or seeing this video now, to have a 7 track is crazy amount of classes.
Yeah.
For most congresses,
Yeah.
you'd be happy
One.
to have, you have. Remember we have 4 different dances, right? You have salsa, bachata, kizomba, zouk, right? For most congresses, you have 4 classes every single hour. You'll be blessing already. You'll be so happy already. You have 7 classes. That is a crazy amount of options you can have from the very beginning to all the way to the end.
which is by support of the community. We would not this festival would not happen with that many tracks if it wasn't by the support of the community. There are just because the reality is every festival has a budget. Hello Fest is just fortunate enough to have a big enough budget to house 4 genres, but there are other festivals who just don't have the budget. Yeah, you're right. There's some festivals where they just have 2 tracks.
Well, they might have salsa bachata only.
Or not even salsa bachata, just bachata with just 2 tracks. It's just a cold reality, and it's not everyone's fault. One of the things I hear that people complain, if there's actually people complain, is you know what? There's not enough classes, which is weird, right? Because you already have a lot of classes, and people want more classes. So it's rough, So I do want to emphasize that festivals, they do the best they could.
The unique thing about Hello Dance Fest is that we look at it, each genre is like its own festival, right? If you
Oh yeah,
add-
yeah.
So you got to look from that perspective. This isn't something we decided. You know what? This weekend you're gonna have 4 salsa classes or 4 bachata classes. No, consider if you interested in learning bachata, that's it's like 2 options every single hours or something like that,
Right.
or sometimes even 3 single hours.
Yeah, this year it's a little bit different, but yes, the idea was to have like every hour 2 different tracks. So if you're a
Like
beginner,
beginner.
if you're a beginner, intermediate, or intermediate advanced, yeah,
So it's so basically it's almost like imagine you have 4 festivals within that one festival. And Zouk itself is like, if you go,
Yeah.
a lot of us that dance Zouk a little bit or interested in learning Zouk, you go, a Hello Zouk Festival, imagine that it is a Zouk festival in itself.
And
The
that's what it
artists
feels
themselves,
like.
huh?
That's what it feels like.
Yeah, the artists themselves are some of the biggest Zouk artists you see in the globe. Here in San Francisco.
that's actually true because if a normal festival has 2 tracks or 2 ballrooms or workshops, and we have up to 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a festival within a festival.
Within a festival, within a
Yeah.
festival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Within a festival.
within a festival. So if you're
Yeah.
interested in learning Zouk, you can just live, eat, breathe
Yeah.
Zouk within that weekend. The same thing in bachata. The same thing in salsa.
Mhm.
Or if you want to venture
Yeah.
to learn other dances, you can do that too here.
Mhm.
It's a pretty incredible opportunity.
Yeah. Besides that, I think we should start closing up.
Yep.
But what do you? Is there any other thoughts you guys have in terms of like not just talking about the festival? Because I feel like this video that we're doing, it was originally started off as let's just talk about Hello Fest, but it really just became more about just talking about community and just talking about like just the state of the economy. Really, but you guys have anything else to say?
Yeah, you want to.
No, go ahead, go
I think there's a couple points. Number one, like we're not just organizers, we're dancers, right? We also organize social and different events too. So in addition to us, support all the festivals, support all the social in our community. We mentioned how blessed we are in this community. There's so many other great social, many other great festivals. If you have opportunity, attend them all. But if you have opportunity to come to Hello, check it out. I think it's a great festival. Not because we're our organizer, but we put a lot of heart and soul into this, right? And we just had a meeting today with the hotel, and everything is going perfectly as planned. Again, if a great opportunity to really learn about Zouk, really learn about Kizomba, learn more, party more, bachata, salsa. Again, some of the biggest artists. If you look at the lineup, it's pretty incredible. And just come join us. I mean, I think it's at the venue. It's amazing, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the access here, it's crazy how easy it is from SFO.
In fact, there's a free shuttle. It's only 10 minutes from the airport.
Not even, right?
No, I think it is 10 minutes, like 10 to 15 minutes, because you gotta takes the time to get onto the shuttle for the shuttle to drive over
okay.
here for you to unload.
It's really close.
Yeah, it's really close. So we're fortunate about that. And SFO, it's a hub.
Yeah.
It's like because it's a hub. Flights are generally cheaper than if you were to go to like some auxiliary airport.
San Jose. Or,
In addition to the venue, which is very affordable also, but this also, the blessing about this particular event is that across the street here, you have a very affordable hotel.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. So even if you didn't, let's just say you're on a budget, and it's okay. A lot of us have been on budget. I've been on a budget, so I understand. There's other hotels. There are cheaper hotels if you're willing to. And you know what the cool thing is? On the website, I actually list out all the hotels by distance, by car, and by walking distance. So if you actually want to save some money, and you're like, you know what, how far is it? Oh, let's go to HelloFest website. And it's only 5-minute walk. Okay, I think that's a good option. It's all there, and I think that's one of the things that we're really proud of is we have a really great web development team, and our website is one of our jewel. It is probably something that we're not only proud of, but a lot of people have praised us because we had a director who said, I usually don't go onto festival websites because there's nothing on there.
Yeah.
And then she said, but I went on Hello Fest, and I'm like, damn, there's everything here. And I think that's part of it is because I'm just a very detailed person, and I'm only detailed because it's kind of like an obsession to be detailed. I know it's not fun for some people, but for me it works in terms of like at least for the festival, and it works out because I feel like the more detailed the website is, the less questions there are. But the reality is people still ask questions.
Very proud of our web team for having such an awesome website. I can't say as somebody that, is an instructor and has traveled and DJed, I have traveled to DJ around the world in a lot of places. And usually, it is not good. The website is usually not good. And sometimes if I'm teaching at a certain time, the schedule is very confusing and I have to like zoom in and take a picture of a picture. And then when I post it on, because my, people are asking like, hey, when are you teaching? Post it on Instagram. So I have to like kind of, make the picture. And it just looks very unprofessional. So I think it's awesome, right? Because all of our artists have like amazing flyers. The schedule is there. Even our DJs have flyers with scheduled times when they're DJing. So it's so easy for them, right? Because we try to make it so that they want to share this information, right? Because as a DJ, and I'm telling you, I've done some events where it's like, no flyer, no time. You don't know when you're DJing. You don't know when you're teaching. Right, the schedule is changing last minute. It's just very stressful for the artists, right, and for the DJs.
Come and join us. Basically, I think everything is stars align. I think the Hello Fest is, although we mentioned about economic situation, we're going through some challenging time at the moment, but
We're still
but,
here
you
though.
know, but yeah, here we're here to go. I mean, we're here. We have a long, many year contract with the hotel. Good relationship. We think this thing is gonna.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing we should thank. So we need to make sure we thank the community that, the fact that we had so much support for the first festival.
That's right.
The hotels wanted us to sign a multi-year contract. The only reason why Mal, the only reason why a hotel would want to sign a multi-year contract is because they know that we can make money from these guys. So that's what they would. They just want to snatch us. And so we've been very fortunate. So we want to make sure the community, we appreciate you guys for being so supportive for that first year. And then now we have a multi-year contract. And the benefit about doing multi-year contracts, you don't have to worry that then the next year you don't have a home. Yeah, you don't have to worry about not having a home. You don't have to worry about having to negotiate new contracts with a different hotel. Not only that, but the unfortunate thing with when you do a different hotel, people as a dancer like you have to learn the new location. You have to learn how to get to the new place. And and we're all about like consistency. We're all about just keeping it simple. I think that's our motto. One of our other mottos too is like, just keep it simple, keep it organized, and just go from there.
And where could they find you on Instagram? Can you give them your Instagram?
Well, I mean, it's not about me, so I don't want
Give them your
to. Sorry.
Instagram handle. They want to find you. Where
My Instagram name is still Jsmoothsalsa because that's how I originally started. I started in salsa. I had my own business in salsa, teaching and whatever.
Hey, this guy knows bachata. Was actually a salsa dancer. Many years. Well, you taught for free too for many years.
Yeah, for anyone that's still alive, because I'm pretty old now. But I used to teach salsa for free down in San Jose. I had my own dance studio. I think that's what most people knew me by. Jsmoothsalsa. Oh yeah, the guy who taught in Japantown in San Jose. Yeah, and I think that's where like a lot of the salsa dancers know me. And and then now look where we're at right now. Who knew? I actually met somebody the other day. We went to Alberto's in Mountain View. He's like, yeah, Robert. Yeah, you remember Robert, right? Who teaches with Pantea over there? Pantea is an instructor that teaches down at Alberto's in Mountain View. Robert is her partner. He's like, look at you. He was like, look at you. It's like, it used to be blah blah. I forget what he said. I was like half tired listening to him. It's like, yeah, you used to do this, and now you have your own festival. I'm like, oh, thank you.
I think sometimes we have to put things in perspective because we're like, as organizers, we're running around, we're so busy. But I think sometimes we need to just stop and just recognize how awesome this is, right? And just take a moment because we can get bogged down by everyday tasks that we have to do. But I think the fact that we just pulled it off and I think made ourselves proud because we all have our own kind of, goals that you set for yourself, I think. And I think last year, whatever goal I set for myself, I think, I did it. I wanted just to have a really good, festival for the community and bring out really good people, and which is what we did. So I think sometimes, just take a second, kind of pinch yourself, say, hey, this is really happening. This is awesome. Yeah.
People probably want to know like what's your goal in terms of making the festival successful, making the community more better. What is it? Mal, what do you think that your goal would be?
I think for this coming year, I mean, the goal is number one. I mean, first of all, we achieved the goal already in the fact that the event will take place. With all these challenges, as you know, a lot of events have been canceled, right? Because
a lot of that's right. A lot of festivals got canceled this year. Yeah.
But I think, like you alluded to, I think I'm grateful to our community for supporting.
Yes, thanks to the community.
I mean, we've been very successful. Obviously, the event will take place. I mean, we exceeded hotel expectation already. That's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
And we expect a lot of people to have a great time, just like last year. I think the events, people are looking forward to, the community looking forward to it. So I think that the main goal for all of us is really, a lot of time we talk about being a promoter. It's really a great opportunity for us. It's a great honor for us to be able to host you. Because ultimately, like all of us here, we're just dancers, right? We're doing all this as promoters because we love what we do, right? We enjoy what we're doing. Yeah, it's a different kind of fun, right? A lot of us are just dancers. We just show up, make a little bit of contribution, and you go dancing, right? For us, maybe you forget, like Jimmy and Masha here, You know, like after hello, you may notice you just leave, but they have to pack into the car. like there's no room inside the car. That I mean, I can't really squeeze in. But you forget that part. You know, when you leave by about what's it? The social ends at 8 o'clock.
I think the context, we're talking about Hello Monthly. So I think what Miles not talking about is Hello Monthly. We just had another successful Hello Monthly event on July 13th. And as usual, it was packed. It is insanely
Can't say
packed.
numbers, but
Yeah.
wink, wink.
But what Miles was saying is like at the end of the night, you guys get to go home.
That's right.
You get
8:30.
you get to have an after party afterwards, an after party, and and then oftentimes we get people say, "Oh, you guys should go later." Like, I've been here since 12 p.m. setting this all up, and yeah, people forget that we don't talk about what happens after you guys leave.
Maybe we should do it behind the scenes. Maybe Jimmy should. I've been telling Jimmy we need to do a behind the scenes festival and hello, like the actual event, because I
Yeah.
think a lot of people would be curious.
Yeah.
It's
The BTS, yeah, behind the scenes. And I'm sure like people will have a greater appreciation for what goes on. But I think, yeah, to mention that, yeah, we had to, for our car, which is a small SUV, we had to pack it to the brim with equipment just to ensure that we got the right sound, we had all the equipment, volunteer stuff. And not only that though, but lost and found. You know, what happens to lost and found tonight? People are like, oh yeah, there's a lost and found bin here at the venue. No, I have to take it home.
Are the lost and found bin.
And if you, this is a shout out to anyone who forgot stuff. Can you please reach out to me and
Please contact
tell me you forgot something and you're gonna pick it up, because I have stuff from Lost and Found from 2 years ago and I just can't let it go. I get too scared. I'm like, you know what? What if they come back? What if they want this item back? And it's like, what if this jacket, it misses the owner? So I should hold on to it just
Give
in
it to
case.
Goodwill.
Oh man. But anyway, so yeah, it's people forget about that. And also people, I think you forget about how much it takes to run the festival.
Festival is a different animal in itself, isn't it?
Yeah, and I feel like for me, it's like I enjoy organizing. I mean, that's the only reason why that Hello Fest is successful as it is, because I put in a lot of time just to ensure that all the little details are taken care of, and you guys get to enjoy it because when you come in, you're like, wow, this is really organized. It's like I came in, I checked in, people were friendly, the volunteer staff was friendly, I got my wristband, I went about, had some fun, everyone was friendly. Well, I think the reason why they're friendly is because, number one, if the volunteers were not taken care of, they would be disgruntled. If the instructors didn't have all the information and they were flustered, they wouldn't be happy. If the DJs, if everybody, if something was up, you would see it because it just trickles down. And I feel that at least with Hello Fest, we've done the best where we just always remember that it's the people first. Not only is the dancers, but the support staff that we have. I think it's always important. I think that if you didn't take care of the people underneath you, at least as an organizer, you could tell. I think if for those who were a little bit more aware, I'm not really aware. I'm just kind of like in my little bubble and I forget things. But I think if you were smarter than me, which there's plenty of people like that, you would tell like, oh yeah, that festival, people are disgruntled at the front desk. Something must be up, and that's just reality.
And I think also, and for the event and for the festival also, I feel like until I have organized an event myself, I have not realized the amount of work that goes into it, right? Even like taking the monthly event, I'm not going to go into the festival because it's a lot of little parts, right? But even for the monthly event, there's so many little things that have to come together for it to work out. And there's so many things, we have to physically bring, like equipment and speakers, right? And I think that if you're a guest, you just come in, you enjoy it, and then you leave, right? So until I organized my first one, I was like, wow, there's so much more to it, right? So I think that now, I always joke with Jimmy, if we get to go somewhere to another event or to another festival where we don't have to organize, I'm so happy because, we get to take a break. Right, because we get to just come in, enjoy the dancing, and then leave. We're like, wow, we don't have to clean up, or we don't have to, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, and the last thing, so close it up again. I think we're trying to close it. My goal, if I had a goal for this festival, was just to ensure that everyone's having a good time. We've all been there. We've all been there where life just gets us down, and dancing is what
That's right.
got us through the funk,
That's right.
or not even the funk, but just like through life. I mean, there's a lot of people who just, like I said, this is just a year of uncertainty. And for us, if we're able to provide an event or a festival that helps them forget
Mhm.
about the struggles of life,
Mhm.
Even for a weekend.
Lift the
even
spirit.
for a weekend, lift the spirits, then our job is done.
Yeah.
But it's, you can't just throw a festival and expect that to happen. You have to make sure it's organized. You have to make sure that all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted to ensure that when the moment they come in, a dancer, if you came to our festival and you're like, wow, it's very organized and everything seems so clean, is because of the amount of work we put into the background,
So
right?
you're not supposed to notice.
Yeah, you're not supposed to know that. I think that's anything, right? Great example is like a ballet dancer, right? If the ballet dancer makes it look really easy, imagine how much work they put into it. If a bachata dancer or a salsa dancer is performing and you're like, wow, that looks really easy, it means they put a lot of work into it. So,
So you think you can do it too, right?
right. So, anyways, Mao, thank you so much for taking time. This was supposed to be just a BS time to just talk about the festival. It just ended up turning more than that, which I kind of liked anyway. Masha, of course, thank you so much for being here. Mao, again, just another quick reminder. Mao is the organizer for Zook for Hello Fest. He's also the organizer for SBK. He's a part-time dancer, full-time traveler. You know, we have Masha. Masha, thank you so much for here. You're the organizer of the Kizomba aspect of the festival. You're also a DJ for Kizomba. You organize the Hello Kizomba monthly event. So thank you so much for being here. And of course, my name is Jimmy. I am the best known as operations and marketing manager for Hello Fest, part-time Hello Monthly organizer. Thank you so much again. Hello Dance Fest coming up July 24th to 28th. Hope you guys can make it. Hope you guys enjoy this. I know it's a lot of rambling.
Can you
Well,
tell them the website again where they can find the tickets?
we'll throw it on the screen. HelloBachatafestival.com. Anyways, thank you so much for community for helping us out. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.